This week, we're going to show you how to make tortillas. Hey everybody, it's Tony, and Kori is in the background. Molina is running the cameras today.
Hi everybody.
You are watching The Empty Nesters. Today we're going to be doing flour tortillas. So I was raised on flour tortillas and beans, and flour tortillas and rice, and flour tortillas. And these aren't the kind that we get in the store. I was raised on the ones that my mom used to make, and her mom used to make. Today we're doing the tortilla recipe. I'll give you the recipe as I go through. I'll also put it online for you, but you can honestly look on a bag and it's the same recipe. And really the beauty comes from what I have found and what my mother even told me, which is feeling it. So doing it over and over again and kind of getting that feel for the masa, okay? So one of the cool things is I'm using a bowl today that will be passed down to my kids at some point. One of them, Molina is probably right now going, it's gonna be mine.
Yep.
But one of them will get this. My mom did it in one of these same bowls. And Kori, you found this for me, I believe, at an antique shop.
Correct.
And so this is mine. And we take very good care of it. It will not make the tortillas come out any better. It, for me, is just part of that tradition. We start out with a few things. First, I've already put in 4 cups of flour. So this is going to give us somewhere between 12 and 15 tortillas. And then we also have our salt, which is 1 teaspoon of salt. We have our baking powder, which is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we've got my favorite ingredient, the manteca. So this is lard, essentially. That's all it is lard.
Big old jar of lard.
Yeah, and it's not the healthiest. In fact, these aren't going to be the healthiest at all. And then water. And when I get to the water, I'll probably re-say this to you, but the key for me, my grandmother taught me, and my mother taught me, was warm water. So that's what I do. I just take warm tap water and I throw it in there.
But not too hot so you don't cook them up.
That's correct. Yeah, warm. Here we go. So we've got, again, this is the salt. That's going to be 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to go 2 tablespoons of the baking powder. I like to I can run my fingers in there if I want, but I like to do this. Kori taught me this when she was doing her baking. It just kind of sifts the flour a little bit better. Don't worry about making a mess like I just did, because this is going to have flour on it eventually, which I'll explain that in a little bit, why I do that. So we'll just kind of mix this up a little bit. Oh gosh, usually I don't get that messy, but that was a little messy right there. Then we're going to do the lard, the manteca.
The lard.
I like the word manteca better than lard.
Lard just sounds very aggressive.
It's really a harsh word. It's really unnecessary.
I feel like I'm being judged by the lard.
Manteca sounds exotic. So we'll go with that. Okay, so don't just dump this in. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is take little, this is a weird word too, nodules. You want to take little nodules and just kind of mix them into the flour themselves. The main reason I heard to do this was it separates it out. It doesn't just become one clump in there. This is a hands-on project, so you want to know that you're gonna get your hands a little dirty. And what you're gonna do is break down the lard inside the flour. Here we go. We're now gonna put the water in. I was kind of thinking when I was kind of getting things done, I do a lot of stuff in for inspiration too. I don't know if that's going to help you. But so one of the things is the actual bowl itself. For me, has always kind of been an inspiration to kind of get a good rounding to it. So again, that's just me. I'm just kind of weird. So a little bit of water at a time is what you're going to do. Okay, and I always try to keep one hand kind of clean, and you're just kneading it. So as we do this, you'll see that it just like kind of biscuits, it kind of becomes its own little deal here. And I'll show you what I meant about the ball here in a little bit and cleaning the side. My mom used to, when she did this in her bowl, I asked her how she knew that the dough was done, and she would say, Well, I make sure that it picks up all the sides and the bowl's clean. And if the bowl's clean, then all of the baking soda and all of the, or baking powder and all of the flour was done right. And that's kind of what I go by still. So if I'm starting to make it into a ball after kneading it, and it starts to pick up the sides, and it becomes more of a clean bowl, then I know I've got some good, how was I say, masa. Good, yeah, masa going here. Again, this is messy, but it's kind of fun, you know. Clean
it's like
your
crafts.
hands. Huh?
It's like crafts in the kitchen.
It's a little like crafts in the kitchen. And really what I'm doing is just really trying to pick up the flour and the baking powder and just making sure that it's also getting kneaded at the same time. See how it's kind of starting to get, see how it's sticky? That's not the consistency you're looking for. But as we start working it and start kneading it, it starts to become something else. Yeah, things are gonna go flying. They're gonna go flying. We got some stuff flying everywhere.
Some shrapnel.
So there's some tortilla shrapnel coming at me. Okay, so here's where, try to get it off. So I'm gonna do like this, right? This is where I said I get my inspiration on the bowls. This will make more sense right now. It becomes sticky. See, you're gonna wanna get the stuff off the side. See there? I'm gonna move this over. See how I kind of rub the stuff off the side? That's what I meant by we're going to clean this bowl, and that's when I know that it is at a good consistency. Not so much on the hitting it and just kind of kneading it and getting it out there. Once we finish this, oh, off my hands too. Once we get this done, it's going to sit for about 10-15 minutes, somewhere around there. And I'll show you the other little trick that we do. And I say they're tricks, but you know, maybe other families do this. I don't know, maybe everybody else does this. So this is starting to get to a good consistency. Okay? And remember, it's gonna sit and rise. Is that what it does, Kor?
It rests.
Oh, it rests. Oh, you gotta go take a little nap. Sorry, I usually don't talk to my masa.
And you usually cover it so that
yes,
it
that's what
dry
I'm gonna explain that right now. So I said I've been washing my hands, which I have been. So I'm spinning my bowl, I'm getting the rest of that stuff off. Look at it. See there? Isn't that cool? And again, it doesn't mean that your tortillas are gonna be perfect, but for me, it's that accomplishment of, okay,
That's all
I got a good consistency. It feels good, all the stuff's in there, except for the stuff that went off to the side. I don't need more lard in here because it feels good right now. All right, so
What
this...
would you say the consistency is? Like,
I don't know, it's kind of
Like
Play-Doh-ish. Play-Doh is a good one. So now this is gonna sit here. Now here's my other thing. So I'm going back to wash my hands, right? I've been washing my hands this whole time. Now, you may think this is weird. You may think it's strange, but this was a clean towel. It's got a certain wetness to it, which probably gives it some humidity when I cover it. I don't know. I don't know the science, okay? But I do know that this is what I was taught. You're gonna cover it with that same towel. I have done it, and I'm not joking. I have done it with a clean towel, come back, put it there, and something got lost. So again, you may think, ooh, that's gross, or that's weird. All I know is this is the way it's worked for generations, and so that's what I do. All right, so now it's time to make that big masa that we had, the big masa ball. Here, let me show you. Here it is. It's rested, as Kori said, and it's
took a nap.
feeling good. Huh?
It took a nap.
We took a little nap. We put a little night-night, so put the blankie over, and it's all good. So now we have to make a bunch of little ones. This is going to really tell us how many tortillas. So this I struggled with for a while because my hands are bigger than my mom's, which thank God.
I hope so.
But so what I did was I was making them too big, and then I was making them too small. So what I have found for myself is I tend to think of how big my mom's hands are. That probably sounds weird. And I just peel off a piece of it. So I think of her whole hand, but really for me it's just the two fingers here, my index finger and my thumb. And then I just kind of mold it into a circle-ish biscuit-looking thing, okay? And then what I do, I learned this on a cooking show, I put a little thumb on the bottom of it. Later on, that's gonna come in handy when I go to roll them out. So again, it'll come off just easy. Don't look for a perfect ball. And what I tend to do is go like this. So you won't see me do like that all the time, but I like to just kind of, so it ends up being under there, but I'm using my fingers kind of down there. See how they're kind of about the same size? And that just worked out because I'm just measuring that way, right? And again, if they all don't turn out the same size, it's okay. When you do this, they're gonna come out looking like the state of Texas, the state of Florida, and we're looking for a round shape. You might get Montana. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, so we're just gonna continue to do this process here. But the reason I put them out in this pattern is I know where I started, because the dough is actually still resting. Thank you, Kori. Still resting, so it's resting in a smaller state now. And that's why I kind of do that. And again, I just remember seeing my mom, seeing her and my grandma just have them out like that. This is about the time I got really excited because potatoes were going, beans were going, and I knew I was moments away from tortillas. Yeah, this feels really good. And again, you know the feel after you do it a couple of times. And when I say a couple, you know, a couple hundred. It just takes practice, just like with anything. So right now we're at eight little tortillas. This bowl will get used again. It's funny how everything just kind of gets used again. We'll use it to put the tortillas in. We'll use the towel to put the tortillas back in to wrap it. Everything gets used again through this whole process. So we got 4 rows of 8 and 1. What is
13.
that, college student?
Oh, wait, no. Whoa. 33.
33? That is not 33 tortillas.
You said 4 rows of 8.
Oh, 4 rows. We have 4 rows
Of 4?
of 4 plus 1. That gives us
17.
17 tortillas. Again, inspiration. I love Pampered Chef. Okay? Pampered Chef has this cool, what is this, Cor?
It's a baking stone.
This baking stone. Okay, we're not gonna, there's no baking gonna be done on this. Purely inspiration. It's round, and Kori one day said that would be good inspiration for you, and she was right. It was great inspiration. Pampered Chef. This is not a commercial for Pampered Chef. I've tried many of them. For some reason, I can control this a lot better. Use what's good for you. They have rollers that you can make. My parents had one that had handles on the side, and they would do like this. This has been the best for me. Easier to roll, easier to move. So use whatever you want. I take a little bit of the flour so it doesn't stick to the cooking stone. All right, and I'm spreading this out a little bit. You'll have to probably do this a few times during the process. Again, don't use so much that it dries out, okay? Now we're ready for the big show, the good stuff. Okay, so here we go. Remember this first guy? That was like 5 minutes ago. He's rested, he had the big nap, he had a little nap, and now he's gonna have the rollout. Here we go. Just put it on. The flour is gonna allow it to not stick. So I go from the middle and I just go out all the way around. There's no rush to this. There's no reason to make things any more difficult by fancy turns and stuff. Just go real easy going. And again, it's homemade. So it's not gonna look like the ones that you're gonna have in the refrigerator from, you know, the market. Now, what I'm looking for are the parts of the masa that maybe were a little heavy on the side, because when you start spreading it out, they tend to go out to the side. And so I pick it up, and this is where some tradition comes in. My mom, my grandmothers before me, all kind of did this. Why are we doing this? First of all, it's totally fun. Second of all, you can kind of get a feel of where that tortilla is pretty heavy, right? So if I'm doing this and it feels heavy in the center, then I know I've got to kind of get it out of the center. If I'm feeling it a little heavy on the outside, then I'm just going to go to that side and spread it out. Now, the only other difference you would do, if you're a perfectionist, is again, trying to get it completely round. But you know what, for me, bam, that's round. That is plenty round.
It's close enough.
That is close enough, and it's going to work just fine. A little thin.
Circular.
Yeah. I don't like mine completely thin because I like my tortillas to be a little bit more fluffy. It goes on, What I tend to do is come back here and start on the next one. Spread this out. This is how I know my timing, right? Kind of do this. Again, I'm going in. I'm making it round. I pick it up. I kind of feel it's heavy on that side, so I'm going to spread that side out. You can see it, yeah, but really having the feel for the masa is what you're looking for. And then again, you're just stretching it out. When I've done one side, I know, oops, got to come back here. I have real sensitive hands, so I always kind of fool around with this and flip it over. Look at how good that's already looking. Bam! That is looking good. Okay, then I come over here and I kind of go, okay, what's left? Kind of fling it around a little bit. I can feel it's over here. All right, so this is pretty much done. I've got this on like an 8. You're gonna have to check your stoves to see how they are. That's a done tortilla. I'm gonna take it over here, place it into the bowl, and cover it. And
For
it stays
Molina
warm.
to snack on later.
It stays nice and warm. And look who's on deck. Tortilla number 2. Kind of do some tossing just in case I need to. It goes on, and we repeat the process over and over again. And again, do they look perfectly round like the store? No, but I will tell you, I believe they taste better. Again, this is the tradition that my grandmothers did, and my mom did, and everybody, and it's just something I want my kids to be able to do. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. This is just great. And like my mom used to say, my dad used to say, well, if you like it so much, you better learn how to cook it, because I'm not always going to be here. Okay, so Molina is going to try it herself now. She's been watching a little bit, so we thought it'd be fun to see if she can do this. And she's ready. So you saw a little bit of what I did. There you go. There you go. The biggest thing is just don't give up. Just keep pushing out. And again, whatever, that's looking pretty good. Whatever state it looks like.
We're gonna go for Montana. The treasure state.
Looking good. How's it feel?
Good.
To do?
It's very Play-Doh-y.
Yes. Okay, at this point you probably want to pick it up and
Do the same.
do the flap and try to feel where those are at. What do you think? Where does it feel like? Okay, and then you just put it down and start going from that side. Don't worry about your shape right now. Looks good. Okay. What?
It looks like a triangle.
I was thinking a Christmas tree, but that's good. Okay, so now, does it feel good? You think
Yeah.
you're ready? Okay, flop it over to the deal. Let's walk over here to here and just throw her on down. And trust me, I flap it, yeah, because that's the best thing to do it. All right, there's Molina's tortilla.
Looks like a heart.
It does look a little hardish. All right, so we flipped it. This is one side, and it's cooking on the other side. How's that feel so far?
Good.
Pretty happy with yourself? All right. Yeah, move it around a little bit. Make sure it should be able to slide a little bit so that you kind of know it's done. It's hot. Okay. A little burnt, but that's okay. Just go ahead and take it off of there because I can smell it burning. Okay. That's probably not where we wanted to put it. That's all right. She'll still eat that. All right, Molina's going to try it again because, like we said, practice makes perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and roll that out. Good.
Going for Texas this time. Rounder state.
Well, people in Texas will be happy about that.
What?
Oh, what a nice young girl making a tortilla that looks like our state. Right, good. Get a feel of it after a couple, huh? All right. And give it a little extra flap again. Feels good, you're good to go. Good?
Yeah.
All right. Get on over. Yeah. Oh, hey, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's looking good. Kori, she did great. So, see, that looks more normal. And then right onto the pile. That pile's starting to look good and tasty.
Boom.
All right, so that is how I make flour tortillas. And so here we go. This is the last shot right here. These are the tortillas that we are going to enjoy tonight. Thank you guys again for joining us. Make sure you go to our website and look up more videos from the Empty Nesters. You can go to take2productions.biz, or you can go to our Facebook site at Take2 Productions and like some of the stuff there. We got all kinds of fun stuff there. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you again when we're down the road doing something fun with the Empty Nesters.